Now, tonight we're diving into some political intrigue from Zimbabwe that is juicier than a soap opera. You know, the kind of plot twists that are so wild that you start questioning your life choices. I mean, who needs Netflix when you have real life drama like this? So, Patrick Chinamasa, the ZANU-PF Secretary for Legal Affairs, yes, that's right, the ego himself has just spilled the beans about the team that he worked with to draft the legal resolutions that led to the removal of President Robert Gabriel Mugabe in the year 2017. And let me tell you folks, it sounds like a political version of the Breakfast Club, but instead of detention, they were plotting a coup. Chinamasa took to X, formerly known as Twitter, to share this revelation. Apparently, he collaborated with two young party members. Can you imagine that meeting? Alright, team, we've got to kick out a dictator. Who brought the PowerPoint slides? And more importantly, who's got this next? Now let's get to business. One of these young guns is Kelvin Manyengawana, a ZANU-PF youth leader from Manicaland province. Now he is a member of the ZANU-PF Central Committee. I can picture him at school. Today's lesson, how to overthrow a dictator, 101. And then he goes off to China for his masters in law. I mean, if you're going to learn about law and order, why not do it in a country known for its strong grip on, well, everything? Chinamasa shared that Kelvin is now 2 months into his 2-year master's degree in international development at the University of International Business and Economics in Beijing. You know, I cannot help but wonder how these classes go. Today, we will discuss some international relations and how to make sure your leader doesn't mysteriously disappear. And speaking of impressions, Chinamasa asked Kelvin for his thoughts on China after settling in. I can imagine Kelvin texting back, well, it's crowded, the food is amazing, and I'm pretty sure I just saw a guy selling a pet panda on the street. But Chinamasa wasn't just sharing fun facts. He was serious about Zimbabwe learning from China's work ethic. He said we need to catch up because Zimbabwe is a millennium behind China. Now a millennium, wow. At this rate, we'll be sending smoke signals while China is launching rockets to Mars. He quoted President Emerson Mnangagwa's mantra, Nyika inova neve vayo, which translates a nation is built by its own people. So basically, if we want to build a better Zimbabwe, we better roll up our sleeves and get to work, or at least hire some really motivated interns. Chinamasa also touched on military training for students in China. He said it fosters discipline and ideological orientation. I mean, nothing says future leader like 2 months of military training. Imagine coming back home and saying to your friends, so what did you do this summer? Oh, you know, I just learned how to march and throw grenades. And let's not forget his phrase, those who have eyes, let them eye, and let those who have ear, let them hear. I don't know about you. Anyways, I'm not gonna go deep on this one. In all seriousness though, this insight from Chinamasa sheds light on some significant legal maneuvers that reshaped political landscape back in the year 2017. It highlights how young leaders are stepping up and trying to make a difference, even if it involves some very unconventional methods. So, here's to young leaders like Kelvin Manyengawana. May their studies be fruitful and their political strategies even more so. preferably without too much drama or military training involved. Enough respect to everybody who's watching us live. So this is the post there that is made by Patrick Chinamasa. Basically, I've just summarized it all. So this is the guy he's talking about there, showing on the screen. Why is Patrick Chinamasa revealing these details that we are getting here? Why would he be doing so? Remember, Chinamasa played a very big part. Not only this, something that we don't know of, he is a stakeholder in whatever agreement these guys made. Is he also eyeing for power somewhere, somehow? So there are many players of this coup. Who knows what agreement these guys made? And at a time like this is becoming very tricky. However, we see Patrick Chinamasa mentioning something to do with the military. Why mention the military? Then we go over to Namibia. Now, Namibia has spoken on fears that they fear what happened in Mozambique may happen in their own nation. So what do we see being said here? Enough respect to everybody who's watching us live. To those watching us live, you can write your comments in the top chat or in the super chat. That's like you get CNM saying give my shout outs. So this is an opposition leader from the nation of Namibia there.
Let's listen. I know you're excited when I speak, I know. But I want to send a message to the observers. My brothers and sisters, I have observed many elections on this continent. Many elections globally. Write it in your report. This country, the same way that Mozambicans are complaining about Zimbabwean voters that have voted in the Mozambican election. This country has a second problem of Angolan, Southern Angolan voters determining the election of our country. That's no fiction. Number 3, International Observer, and especially from SADC. And I'm not speaking to you, but I'm speaking through you to the Executive Council and the presidents of SADC. It's a shame that the SADC leaders met in Harare discussing a volatile situation of Mozambique without any concrete action while that part of the world is burning down.
That is one of the opposition leaders there speaking and giving a message to SADC. I think that this is the same video. Let me just check it out. That would be at a rally there, somewhere in the nation of Namibia. Then we also get to come across one of the contestants there. This guy is running for the presidency in the election set for next week, for this week. He, in fact, set for tomorrow. He is former mayor of Windhoek and currently a professor of politics at the University of Namibia, where he holds a PhD in political science. He is 37 years old. Imagine, 37 years. At 37, he is already running for presidency. So young. And we got to see the ballot papers there from that nation as they prepare for the elections now. Their fears, they fear that what happened in Mozambique may happen there. Now, there's been rumors and speculation that Daniel Chapo of Mozambique has been poisoned. But before we go there, let us just check this video where we see Namibian Foreign Affairs Minister when he was in Zimbabwe for the SADC Extra Odd Summit. What did he speak on?
Yes. You see, should not be surprising when a Minister of International Relations from Namibia come to pay courtesy call to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Zimbabwe because of the long-standing relations that we have. We have cooperated in various areas, both bilaterally and multilaterally. Our two countries have political consultations at the level of ministers. We have also signed an agreement to elevate the joint commission to a level of a binational commission that will be chaired by the heads of state. You know, Zimbabwe has been an all-weather friend for Namibia. When we were in a very difficult period of COVID-19, it was Zimbabwe that helped us to lift our vaccines that came from China. So we come here to discuss issues of mutual interests between the two countries, both bilaterally and multilaterally. We have a number of projects that we are working on. For example, the Trans-Kalahari Railway that is going to link Namibia, Botswana, and Zimbabwe together. As you know, Zimbabwe is given dry port facilities at the Walvis Bay port of Namibia so that it can have access to the sea to transport and export and import goods to other parts of the world.
I'm very pleased that today we had a meeting with my dear brother. Just paid a courtesy call, and to us, this is more than important, it's significant, because Zimbabwe and the Republic of Namibia have got deep fraternal relations, more than excellent relations, and we always have to check on each other and be able to move our agendas forward, which is agenda of integration. He has talked about the Trans-Kalahari and that project that we are very interested in making sure that it's successful.
Now, this isn't really talking about politics. However, we are seeing in the nation of Namibia, there are fears. They fear what happened in Mozambique will happen in their nation there as they are about to vote. I think it's tomorrow. Now, Daniel Chapo poisoning rumors. What happened? There's been rumors and speculation that Daniel Chapo has been poisoned. In recent weeks, rumors have surfaced alleging that Daniel Chapo, leader of Mozambique ruling Frelimo party, was poisoned. This sensational claim has captured widespread attention, but a deeper analysis suggests it could be a deliberate piece of misinformation designed to evoke public sympathy. And such political tactics are not new to the region, with striking parallels to Zimbabwe. The poisoning rumor about Daniel Chapo lacks credible evidence. While vague reports of ill health have circulated, no official statements, medical records, or investigations have corroborated claims of poisoning. Instead, the story seems to have gained traction through unverified sources and speculative social media. Chapo, as the leader of Mozambique's Frelimo party, is both a central figure of power and a polarizing character. The poisoning narrative conveniently aligns with a critical juncture in his leadership, suggesting it could have been orchestrated to rally public sympathy and distract from controversies that are happening right about now. Now, there's been a question. There's been questions asked. Questions like, is Daniel Chapo being coached? Is Daniel Chapo being coached? Coached by who? By Emmerson Mnangagwa, the Mnangagwa president, a playbook of power consolidating, the strategy of fabricating a poisoning narrative to gain political leverage is not unprecedented in Southern Africa. In 2017, Emmerson Mnangagwa, then Zimbabwe's vice president, claimed that he had been poisoned at a political party rally in Rwanda. He alleged that he had consumed a toxic substance through ice cream provided by Grace Mugabe's dairy business, casting suspicion on the Mugabe family and their faction. This story served Mnangagwa in two critical ways. Number one, creating sympathy. Mnangagwa appeared as a victim of political betrayal, garnering public empathy and bolstering his reputation as a resilient figure fighting against corruption and danger. Number two, weakening rivals. The claim cast suspicion on the Mugabe faction, isolating Robert Mugabe and paving the way for Mnangagwa eventually military-backed coup. Even though many analysts now view Mnangagwa's poisoning story as a fabrication, it played an instrumental role in justifying his ascendance or his ascent to presidency. Now, why the poisoning narrative resonates? The poisoning narrative is powerful because it taps into deep cultural and physiological fears. Poisoning is perceived as a sinister, underhanded method of attack, evoking outrage and empathy for the alleged victim. It is an effective tool for political figures seeking to distract from scandals or discredit their opponents. For Daniel Chapo, the poisoning rumor may serve several purposes. Number one, shifting the narrative. Amid any government's failures or internal party disputes, the claim could redirect attention away from pressing issues. Number two, garnering public sympathy. Number three, undermining rivals. So this is not substantiated by anything. Rather, this is just a mere claim. Now, these police officers there have been exposed. What are they doing? These police officers are somewhere in Unity M, around there in Chitungwiza, Unity L and M area. It is said that these police officers are collecting bribes from guys selling drugs. Imagine.
Nothing is gone. Nothing is gone.
All right, as much as the video is not so clear, This is a good effort we are seeing there. Remember, if these guys get exposed, they will be dealt with. Anyways, that was it for now. We see this drama soap opera happening where we see Chinamasa revealing these details. Is he making a power play of his own? Only time will tell what happens next. With that, I sign out. Remember, the entire Zimbabwe is a total blackout. Imagine there is no electricity. No hakuna magetsi akomana. And wakomana uri 2030 avasikuda kuti magetsi. It's very sad. And we see other corrupt police officers, another one here shown here. Anyways, let me just try and play this one before I sign out. Enough respect to everybody who was watching us live right about now. So this is said to be a police officer who operates mshika-shika. And mawindi were complaining kuti amire pa queue anongos konopindira. I think this one is a lighter issue. Of course, it's corrupt and the abuse of power somehow, but it's better than those guys who are taking bribes from those guys selling drugs. Anyways, that was it for now. With that, I sign out. Dr. Clarence, TV7 Live. Thank you, everybody, for your continued support.